We're so back. Guess we're back. Yes, again. Guess who's back? Yes, he is. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? It's me. I'm back again with NVIDIA Gate and my AMD GPUs. You see, my ISP doesn't like my opinions, probably. I assume that they know that, or they know what I know, and they can see my brain or something. And so if they can do that, then they can do terrifying things. But I've returned. I'm Git Make Hammer, and today C146 Introduction to Preprocessor in C. Wowie. Guys, if you want to learn C, watch my D-Lane videos. Ding 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 ding. If you want to learn C, ding 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 ding. Watch my D-Lane programming videos. Ding 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 ding. Ding ding ding. Too much Dookie Nukie for one day. What we were reading about C preprocessor, but C preprocessor so lame. Why is there no D-Lang preprocessor? Right? Think about it. The C preprocessor versus D. D does not have a preprocessor. So import's technically probably part of that. To be honest, and module declaration. Import. Hashtag include. Import core. Pragma once. Or the more portable. If and def. Define. I like how it's just a conglomeration of letters, but you like spread them out and just randomize them. So it's technically like you could spell this or that, or you could spell if and def. And if and def, define, and if. I'm sorry, what? Can you pseudo repeat that to me? The D way. Completely unnecessary since D does a symbolic include of import files. Thank you, D-Lang. They only get imported once no matter how many times the import declaration appears. Pragma pack, the C preprocessor way. This is used in C to adjust the alignment for structs, the D way. For D classes, there is no need to optimize the alignment. In fact, the compiler is free to rearrange how data fields, or the data fields, to get the optimum layout. Macros. Preprocessor macros add powerful features and flexibility to C, but they have a downside. And this is the part where they start talking about the quantum goober programming, where you get so smart to where you start writing C macros. Macros have no concept of scope. They are valid from the point of definition to the end of the source. They cut a swath across .h files, nested code, etc. When hashtag including tens of thousands of lines of macro definitions, it becomes problematical to avoid inadvertent macro expansions. I like when my macros expand, by the way. Macros are unknown to the debugger. Macros are impossible to tokenize source code. The purely textual basis of macros, so macros are evil. Some attempt to resolve this was introduced with templates in C++. macros are still used to make up for deficits in the language's expressive capability, such as for wrappers around header files. But yeah, C preprocessor, big bad. Define value 5. Enum int value 5. Int flags. The D way, enum flags. C preprocessor way. D way, D string. Hello. D's optimizer. This is so amazing though. Like, look, the D way. No way. But that's because the D lane doesn't have the C preprocessor. So then you don't have to waste time on preprocessing where you have like 10 bajillion fucking. It's just simpler. No preprocessor, simple. When I was introduced to the C preprocessor and when I compiled GCC, my brain was like, there's a preprocessor. I think I've heard of this. And now I understand it's just overly complicated, and it overcomplicates source code, like where you have, and I didn't know what this even does, but down here, HSA API appears. And you'll notice I removed all of those from here, from my D code. And then I'm like, damn. So, also, what was the compile time thing we had last? It was like, we'll have to figure out how to do the callbacks. Ah, here we go. Function callbacks. Oh, really? Nice. I like this. Here's an example of C code providing a callback. And then here's an example of D code. I've heard that in older versions you can't extern your alias, so beware of this. So the problem is that the callback happens after we define stuff. There's hella callbacks too. There's a total of 3 or 4 callbacks that we need to fix, because I didn't know how to do them. So I just put a function in there and brain cells. But also, so the alias callback. So you would alias it callback, and then it's the function providing a callback to C code. So extern C, void printer int. Like, either we can do the whole thing in one big extern block, or we have to do it block by block. And I don't want to do it block by block. I think it's easier to just put an extern label, then I have my whole block. At the bottom, it just works. What does this go to? Because I thought I just labeled it with extern. Okay, so I did that. So it is all on one block. But let's go ahead and find callbacks. I should have just written callback as a placeholder. Here, we have function HSA agent and void. So it expects a basic type, not function. And so this is a status T function. And it's called callback. It takes HSA. What's the next index of that? Also, I need to put this on the screen for me. I forgot to do this when I restarted the stream. The next instance of callback. But anyway, I need to figure out, first of all, should we alias it? giving D access to the smorgasbord of existing C libraries to do so. However, one needs to write a D interface DI file, which is a translation of the C header file, C.each file for the C library into D. Let's see what a DI would look like. Ncurses. It's a popular C library. Deprogramming Demos Ncurses. Let's see. Source Demos. Curses.di. So here's a D interface file. So you give it a module name. I've done that. Then you extern C for the whole thing. And you got a bunch of enums. Let's see if they do a callback and how they do it. Okay, so alias ch type equals uint. mmask equals uint as well. Do they even import the other one? God of Rage 2341. Hi, is anyone here? Well, you wanna know who's here, bro? NVIDIA Jensen himself. We also have Jester C++. He's here with us.
Added to C++ are intended to fix previously new features added to C++.
Thank you, Jester. I need to add an actually to every time he says stuff. That's my next upgrade. Mode. Ooh, ooh, ooh. OMG, where did you get that wallpaper? Oh, we made it live on stream during one of my ricing sessions, bro. My next rice, I'll just use a Cinnamon desktop environment since it'll be easier. And they have hella features. Actually, I wonder how they do the Cinnamon button panels and stuff like that. That would be a great idea. Maybe tomorrow we should just try to rice out this thing more and add like button panels so I can like do stuff. Be like, oh look, I got a side panel of programs with FVWM3. You want to see something else that you might think is cursed? Wallpaper maxing, that's what I'm doing, by the way. Ah, the template, ncurse const template equals const t. Are you a SE, SWE, or what is SWE? Ncurse's size. Best live I could have gotten recommended. Thank you. Hopefully this weekend we'll be working on a Dell PowerEdge server. That will be interesting. Software engineer? Me? No. No. Not at all. I just do this for fun. You see, there's people that have like normal hobbies, and then there's people like me, and then I just like making shit. And that's all I do. And then my day job, I don't even like to think about it. Just be like, damn, bro, gotta go back to work. Dang, the time it takes for my DMs to get to your side is like 30 seconds. Why did I find a random app that boosts your FPS but reduces quality? It's called lossless scaling. There's three alternatives. Extern. Oh, these are like disabled. Generated and implemented. You know what would be really cool is if I made a transpiler for C programs. Since C is pretty close to D anyway, like there's only a few things you gotta remember. It's like pointers look weird. Do I play games? Yeah, I play Hexen and Minecraft sometimes. I might go back to Minecraft eventually, but not anytime soon. I kind of played it too much for like a year straight, and then I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and find better things to do. Window int maxing right there. Holy int. Version all. In all versions this block applies. Else auto curses version. I mean, it's not far from what I have. It's literally just, I feel like you just go and look at a C program, then you copy the C program pretty much exactly, get it a nice format, and then figure out other stuff. I don't see any function callbacks though. That's the thing. I think function callbacks are like the worst. I don't know what a C function callback is. I'm gonna be honest with you. C function callback. It's time for me to learn today. C callback functions is a function that is passed as an argument to another function. What? So you mean a value? Like, you could pass a value. That's what it looks like, by the way. A void callback. So no value. You could just pass it. You could have just written int and then pass an integer function. But then all your functions have to be int. Also, C likes to do this int main. I love C, but I hate C. Because I'll write C for a reason, because I learned D first, but also I like C nowadays because C looks pretty cool, kind of like D's best friend, like they'd be brothers or something in a different life, but I don't know. But the real question is, would Linus Torvalds approve of D-Lang in the Linux kernel? And I think he would say no, because it would mean we need, well, I would say no because we would need another compiler. And then I'd be like, damn bro, I'm trying to install this on my Odroid M1S, and now I need to get LDC as well. That's what I love about Rust, is that they added it to the Linux kernel. So now you need 3 compilers to compile the Linux kernel. Honestly, that's the most straightforward compile of all time, though, is the Gentoo kernel. That was not too bad. But compiling GCC makes me want to go, oh my god, bro, why would you make something this hard to compile? That I can't compile it because I'm brain damaged. For more information about callbacks, read the closures section. Void printer, callback. So you would just use a pointer. Or alias, which is the easiest way to do it. But I don't know. Looks like you just alias whatever it is. So let's just find out what the source code would be for the Control F, call back. Alright, let's see. Get that slopware off my screen, you. Brief iterate over the available. So the first one that has a callback is the iterator. Iterate agents, which just goes over all the agents. And you can see it has a callback right here. The problem is, what is the callback? And it's a pointer. A pointer to a function. Get this off of my screen, you. Application defined callback every iteration. So you define the callback, basically. So what I gather from this is that the type needs to be an HSA agent with a void pointer. Or no, you pass a... You could just... Couldn't you just pass a pointer to a function pointer? Like a D-lang function pointer. Essentially, that would be like a function callback. I don't want to read somebody else's problems. That's not helpful. Delegates. One of these. D-lang delegate. See, so this would be something you define when you call it. So you have to call the D-lang delegate. I'm not sure why the D-lang tor won't load. Alright, let's see. Delegate. Which window manager are you using? Oh, I'm using FVWM3, by the way. That won't load, but this will. Ah. Delegate. Delegatize? Delegatize to delegate. Oh, wowie. Thank you, Walter Bright, for making this episode possible. I wish D-lang had C callbacks, so interop would be like super easy cheesy. Because I don't understand C callbacks. Well, I understand the concept. You're passing a function as a parameter, essentially. So, oh wow, wowie. Control F, call back. So HSA agent T avoid. Which essentially is saying it expects a, but it needs a status T function. But what if the what if it's just a status T function pointer? Then it expects the. There's some slight adjustments that need to happen. So there's a type in D-lang called function. Type. Here we go. Function types. Delegate. A delegate is an aggregate of two pieces of data, a context pointer and a function pointer. A valid delegate holds either an object reference and a pointer to a non-static member function. The dot pointer property, the fun CPTR, whatever that means. I guess copy truncate or something? Constructimacator? I don't know. Last time I checked, Constructimacator. Do you use this as your daily driver, or do you use Windows MacBook as your primary device? Yeah, this is my daily drive device. I daily drive this one. I also have a Dell Optiplex with Catchy OS on it. That's my gaming one. It's for playing Half-Life and Hexen. Well, I play Hexen on this. I'm thinking we'll try out the Odroid M1S for Hexen once I get a distributed C compiler set up. I just need to finish one last step for it to be functional, and that's compiling GCC. Which I don't think I'm gonna do that right now, but I mean, I guess I could technically download it on the server and then just start compiling it there. Just cross compile it, because then I'll cross compile it, then I'll send it to my machine that needs it. So here's an example of delegates. Initialized similarly to function pointers. Void delegate delegate. DG. DG is a delegate to a function. Class OB. Objects. So DG equals int I. So it's in what? I'm confused now. So in the first one, this is the first rule, or first thing it says. A delegate is an aggregate of two pieces of data, a context pointer and a function pointer. A valid delegate holds an object reference to a pointer and a non-static member function. An object reference forms this pointer when the function is called. A pointer closure and a pointer to a nested function. I don't think we need that. Type function. But I think what we should do is just alias what it is. So we know that the HSA status callback would have to be alias as whatever our function name would be. So, and it also should be declared beforehand. But the return type should be that. So let's just do alias. Alias, I guess, equals HSA underscore status T, and then HSA, and that's not just aliasing the alias word. Alias nothing. Callback. We might put this as a scope local, so it has to be within like the same scope. Now here's an issue with this, is that because it's inside of because this is one big scope, pretty much they're all gonna share this alias. So if they're all different, which I'll go through and verify that they are, because I'm pretty sure they all are different, and there's also a few different callbacks. Hopefully they're not, and by this point everything should have been initialized for HSA status T and HSA agent T. Which, if you don't know what HSA is or why I'm trying to bind to it, That would have been explained in the last stream. HSA agent, and then a void pointer. All right, and then you would just say you would just call back as a parameter. So that in turn is what it is. That's how you would write this. And because we're externing the whole block as C, I'm pretty sure that means whenever we do the callback, it might just not work. Oh god, I am unleashed string on this planet. There we go. So the reason I'm doing this is to scope guard it so it doesn't just unleash itself on everything to where alias is pretty much global. We don't want global alias. We just want it local to that scope. I'm sure that won't work, by the way. C interop. Take me to the dealing website where I can learn about the shit. Like C interop. Oh, I've already learned dealing though. Like I'm the D master. Some might call me the Dexpert. Anyway, let's send that over to the server. Oh god. Oh hey, that actually wasn't bad. I am allergic to bullshit and errors. HSA agent info vendor name. When expecting comma colon comma gateway timeout nginx ubuntu. What on earth? Is that on my end? Bro, I was thinking that was on my end. Is D-Lang website DOSed? Don't tell me somebody DDoSed the D-Lang website. That's evil. D-Lang is a sacred piece. Sacred piece of engineering. If anything, do that to Rust, but not D-Lang. Beep, 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 beep. D is designed to fit comfortably with a C compiler. For the target system, it is able to call C functions directly without requiring wrapper functions. Wowie. I love my D-Lang. But I'm curious, how does one call back a int function? Callback, get callback. It's a type that calls a type. You know, I'm gonna have to work with aliases more. I don't think I've really aliased enough. Let's see. But they said there was problems with one of these, so it was looking for commas. It was doing the comma check and said, no comma. Where my alias hiding? Where he be hiding at, bruh? Alias, where are you? Right here. You're gonna become, become function of type status. HSA underscore status function. I'm betting if we call these, we'll probably need to import, unfortunately, standard int. But that's okay. I think it should be pretty much compatible with delang int. So hopefully that's the case, and I can just use a delang int. Just remove that section. We technically don't even need this, unless we're calling it dynamically linked things. It told me I have hella code to fix. 131, expecting comma. Alright, let's find it. Bing, 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 bing. Okay, what's next? 131's got a comma. 131 found equals when expecting identifier. Okay, cool. Found 1 when expecting. Found basic type expecting that not function. 267. Alright, let's go to 267. I'm pretty sure 267 is another case of alias. Let's see, 267. And that's gonna need a callback. So that callback is different. Let's go ahead and create our callback. So we're gonna pull out function, put it as a scope local. How dare you? Anyway, alias. Sorry, I was thinking about that one song by that one band about Greta Thunberg. It's a good song. What is the type of the function? It is a who knows? Pseudo what? What's the name of this? Status T Q create. QE. QE. What the fuck? It's a void. It's a void callback. Just expects void callback. Brilliant. Expects a void function. Sudo voidman install. And that comes after what? After HSA Q type. What the hell did I write? This was when I was writing them out myself. Agent T, agent. Then there's a uint32 called size. HSA Q type, and then it expects a callback. So where there's a callback, then we'll now surround this whole thing, tab it up so it's all on the correct layer, hit enter, boom, I've got my function callback on my massive ass line of code. Hopefully that doesn't conflict. Let's go ahead and send that over now to the server. Oh, wrong one. I'm sorry, we don't need Todd Archity. On Archity. Trying to Archmax today. Oh my god, there were so many problems in my program. Oh wait. 159. Error. Declaration expected. Not. What? Basic type expected. Not on 270. What is 270? Thou art not expect. Basic type expect. Fucking brain cells. But it doesn't like these. Was that on 159, by the way? That other one was on 159? I love this. I love when it finds my errors. It doesn't like that because there is nothing. Okay. These are two different callbacks. This is a callback, and then we'll have a callback 1. Not function. Why does it not like function? It likes it up here. HSA underscore status T function. Function? What? And getting it to compile is just one part of the story. We still have to get it to work. That's the other part of the story, but that's fine. Alias callback. And then there was another one that also needs a callback. Actually, there's 2 more that need callbacks. And when I saw them, I said, God, do I hate callbacks. Who invented callbacks and aliasing? I guess there's aliases to save the day. Congratulations, here's our 3rd callback of the day. Callback to callback 2.0. Yes. And of what type? HSA status T. I like that. Status T. It's a function that returns HSA status T. HSA underscore region underscore. Why am I doing that myself? I could just copy. Why am I doing that myself? I could just use AI. That's what the modern programmer says. Fish is no modern programmer. Fish is caveman. Become caveman. Aliasing is so useful. Who would have thought? Need to find my callback. Callback number 2. Love callbacks. Hashtag I heart callbacks. Callback 2. I guarantee you that some of these pointers are backwards. HSA status T function. Alloc callback. Use Linux instead of Windows/Mac. Sorry for all the questions, bro. I love that it's open source and that it's super customizable. Also, there's a high learning curve, so it means that I can have a lot to learn. I like learning, so it's pretty enjoyable. No problem with the questions, honestly. Questions are okay. Questions are 100% acceptable. I enjoy answering questions because it's not just me talking to myself at that point. HSA callback data T callback data. This one is HSA. Is that showing up as one of the errors? I think that one's fine. It's just whenever you have a callback inside of one of these, and it just says function. Like right here, for example. This is prime candidate for an alias callback 3 sequel to callback 1 and 2. Callback 3 includes the latest and greatest of callback software. Engineering. Callback syndrome. On callbackity. What type is this? Status T? Oh no, don't do that. No. Callback 3. There's another callback coming up. It exists somewhere. I know it does. Oh, and I have get found callback. HSA executable iterate symbols. So now we need to put another callback. At least it's the last one. Literally on the last lines of the file. Look at that callback hiding right in there. So let's go ahead and do another callback. Actually, alias callback 4 equals, where is it hiding? Sudo, where is it hiding? This one. Callback syndrome. That's today's episode, by the way. Callbackity. Alright, callback 4. That's good. Callback 4 complete. Oh right, I have to send it first. And then we compile. Send it, compile it. Fails to compile. How many was it that it threw? Declaration expected, not. So those are interesting, and it starts from 270, 273. Pretty much every single callback. Now there's an unmatched closing brace, which is intriguing. That's probably because I removed those. Alright, let's go ahead and jump our way up to 153 is the first instance. 159 or some shit. Why is this uneven? How did that happen? Alright, there we go. Fixed it. But I bet what it is it's these callbacks. So I don't think it's handling those correctly. Not. So it's on 159 and it says declaration expected, not closing parameter. Or opening parameter. The only next opening parameter is right here. So it's just not reading it? I've tried Linux many times, but I always end up back on Windows. I love learning and try different VMs, even Gentoo. Any tips to help me stick with Linux? I don't know, that's something you'd have to find yourself. I just switched and I was like, yeah, this is perfect. It's just so customizable and shit. So much to do in it. Very enjoyable. Just gotta find maybe a subset or like something that you like in it. I don't know. Oh, here's the latest ones. Error. HSA status T after extern. Okay, so it's looking for a status T function. Okay, that's fine. Alias declarations. This is just me being confused. Let's go through and make sure every single alias has one. That way, because that's what screwed us over this time. Out of the reputable WMs, I like Sway, DWM, and Hyperlink. How come you chose FEWM? I was like, I don't like mainstream WMs or like desktop environments or stuff like that. Like things like KDE, like I don't like that. Like unless I need something super simple, so I'm not spending like 2 hours doing stuff to like set up my desktop environment, because honestly it took a long time to get this thing functional, but once you get it set up and it works, then you're cooking. But I was like, yeah, I want to set up FEWM3 because it's different and it looks cool. I didn't know what I was getting into really. I just liked this, like clicking and going, oh look, I have a list of all my tools. That's it. I don't even have desktop applets or like a toolbar or anything. I just click and I could go right there. And I also wanted something familiar so I can move like stuff around. Have windows. And then I also got lucky and found out that it's got amazing features, like you can change layers, change desktops. And so I've got 6 virtual desktops set up. So it's really nice. You also do shortcuts, make it like a tiling window manager, I think, to a degree. It's like a hybrid almost, so it's really good. Really customizable too. Very easy to customize, in fact. When I say it's for everybody, I think I think maybe if it was in a desktop environment that you just download and then boom. The only thing I've seen use it is Arco Linux. Archo Linux. It's actually called Arco though. Arco Linux. And they use FEWM3. But I don't know where Arco Linux is. Here we go. It's a LARP distro. ArcoLinuxD.com. Wowie. Damn. Wow, that's actually hella cool though. But yeah, they use FVWM3 as well for this. Is that Thunar? Bro, that's literally like 90. That's like I have Thunar as well. This is XSCE, they use Thunar. Whoa. Look at this shit. This is what I wanted to set up, bro. Talk about a LARP distro. But that's hella cool. Some of the LARP distros are really cool. But some of them are unusable. C Matrix. Maybe this is a gamer one. i3 dual monitor. That's insane. Hopefully one day I can do the same too. Arch Linux is where it's at, honestly. Especially since it's got ARM. Arch Linux is like what Linux should be. Like, Linux should not be, I have everything pre-installed. Linux is, I install what I need. I like that. But I also like the Gen 2 subset. So the Gen 2 subset is where you compile everything yourself. I like that. But the problem is that won't ever be feasible or practical for most people. So I don't think that will go that way. But I like that because when you compile it yourself, then you know for a fact that you're getting the best performance out of it. So I think that's die-hard open source right there. Like, that's the most peak of open source you can achieve, is everything I do, I compile it myself, which is what I'm kind of transitioning to. But I still want the benefits of Arch Linux with that. I can just download shit if I need to download it. Alright, so enum bind conflicts with enum bind HSA dot O. Profile T at 73 and at 67. So 73 and 67. What is this one? Function bind.hsa conflicts with enum. Is this a function? Enum bind conflicts with enum. Wait state 230. Do I have double? This. By the way, which country are you from? The United States. Let's start with 60 and 73. There should be information on the enums. Maybe they need to be declared as an S. 73. HSA profile T. Okay, that can go. Time to find the next one. I'm surprised they didn't complain about aliases. Bind HSA dot HSA system conflicts with enum bind HSA at 93. So there's a function and it conflicts with enum on 101 or yeah, 101 function and 93. Okay, so let's see about that. Do you have a Discord server that I can join? Yeah, sure. Let me get the link. Oh, I've received a message from one of my friends. Middle click, by the way. Oh yeah, I love middle click. Let's see what that message says. Logged in with my alt account onto the Linux Lenovo pad. Oh, wowie. Ugh, GNOME. Use Gentoo. System D, network D. So it says there's a function on 90 something, and it conflicts with 103. I see a function on line 103. But we should be pretty much good. 101 conflicts with 93. So 101 and 93 are the two I'm looking at. 101 enum conflicts with 93. I don't see how that conflicts at all. It's just an enum. So literally HSA status T, how would that conflict? Unless it's using a pointer to something, but and it's mistyped. But I don't think that's the case. Let's SCP specifically that one for now on. Network trafficking. Wowie, network traffic. Traffic networking. Hella errors. My old friend. Come to fix you up again. Unexpected identifier. HSA status T. After extern C. It's my parody, by the way. It's NVIDIA hits, by the way. Actually, we'll call it my band Blackwell Hits. Error, unexpected identifier, HSA status T. 529. After extern C. To close alias declaration, not declaration of alias, by the way. We will go to every single alias and we will go and check them all. What do you build / fix currently? So we're making a binding for HSA, which is a runtime virtual machine thing that allows you to execute code on heterogeneous computer systems. So essentially what that means is you can write a GPU kernel and it makes sense. That's the simplest way of explanating it. That's what I wanted to say. Explanating. Oh my god, this shit is... Ugh. 73 error. Enum conflicts with 67 still. It's the declaration of how it's being declared. Well, types are types. Structs are structs. So going through it, 73 conflicts with bind HSA .hsa profile T. What? How? I'm loving it. Oh my god. This makes sense now. So it's not just that it says bind HSA. It says HSA profile T for the enum. But then there's an enum HSA profile T at 67. So 73 and 67 both are of course 67, the curse number, enum, and both enums contain the same thing. So HSA system info. But what was that other thing I just saw? That actually was really interesting as well. I didn't understand a word you said. What's the point of building this? Is it for your college projects or your portfolio? Oh, I just do this for fun. See, I just do this for fun to show off technology and stuff. I think people need to learn more about technology, so I'm just going to do it for everybody. On everybody's behalf, I'm learning tech for everyone. It's just a free time thing. Anytime I have free time, I'll do this. Plus, I like to learn a thing or two every day. It's pretty good, because I can learn about 100 things if I do this every day. Let's see. As for like college and stuff, I haven't looked into that stuff yet. I need to do that though, since I can get it with some benefits. Let's see, HSA profile T and HSA profile T. Is there two bind HSADs? Alright, so we're looking good on this stuff. But why? Why is this an enum as well? What is enum? What? This is bind HSA, HSA wait state, and HSA wait state T on 230. Oh wow. These are so fun. Oh. Enum HSA profile T. There isn't an HSA profile T though. I don't know where that's at. HSA profile T. We only declare that once. I don't know. It's there twice. $67 and 73. Like, what's the relationship between those 2 points? Do I work? Yeah. I just can't talk about it. Partially because I don't want to, and also partially because I just can't talk about it. Plus, I don't like it anyway. It's a shitty job. And whenever I can transfer, I'm going to do that. But it'll be a while, probably. Kind of locked in for a bit as well. It's about as much as I can say about that. So don't press for more information. I mean, you can if you want to, but don't expect me to answer anything. You know what? Don't do it either. No more people asking me this shit. I get asked it all the time, and I wish I could answer it, but like, I'm not gonna do that until I'm done with it, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'll tell you guys exactly how stupid that shit is and exactly what it was, but not right now, since I'm kind of locked in with it anyway, and I would prefer not to have dumb shit happen, or to potentially extend dumb shit happening in my life, because you never know who's gonna be where and when. And that's, I gotta stop thinking about it. So it was 63 and 72? 73? 73 and, what was the other one? 60? 67? HSA profile T. Maybe it doesn't identify the names correctly? Bind.hsa.waitState T. So there's an enum, and it conflicts with an enum on 67. You sure there's this? I'm confused where there's a bind HSA profile T that's conflicting with itself at 67. I don't see that HSA profile T. I guess it's not handling the names correctly or something. Name mangling. It's weird. This is weird. Status T. Control F. HSA profile. Profile T. Yeah, that's fine. That's a declaration. Maybe it's just not getting sent correctly. Please compile. HSA. Let's see if that's a conflict between the source code. But that wouldn't have a line number because it's not parsing it by line. It'd just throw an exception. But there's also HSA wait state, which is interesting because it says it's struct and the enum collides. So it says a struct in the enum collide. It's like 230. There's a struct HSA wait state T on 224. It says that at 230, HSA wait state T is colliding with itself, or with a struct on 445. So on 445 then, let's go ahead and start marking things with to do if I don't know where they're at. There should be a struct here. 445 struct HSA info T. So is it having a hard time assigning names to them? Oh wait, there is a struct. HSA wait state T. So is that that's a struct then? Did I write that one out? Let's go look at the source code real quick. See, I think they declare the structs with T and the enum with S. But then you get confused, be like, well, this is a struct, this is an enum. By the way, this is 1,000 lines of documentation for like 400 lines of code. HSA wait state T. It's like should be around like the 3,000s. Type def enum, type def struct. Callback data S. Structs need to end in S. Let's find every instance of struct and guarantee that it ends in S. Wait. These enums are for structs. So wait, what? So the struct is important. So the struct is a name, and type def enum, and that's gonna be the enum at the end of it is status T. You'll see struct. It's enumerated by that. I don't know much C code. Let's look at C code enumeration. C enum enumeration. So why are they declaring the name after it? Paste. AI, tell me why they declare the name afterwards. The HSA structure is fundamental. Yeah, I don't really care about all that. But so you have struct S, but like why is the T at the end? Why is it defined like this? Struct? I don't know. That didn't tell me anything. As usual. Enums and type def explain. Here we go. Parser states. Some projects favor naming conventions that build visual distinction between args, or between tags and type def names. Another pattern that shows up in library code uses the suffix on the tag, another suffix of on the type def. And here the client S gives debuggers a stable label of the print, and the type def T becomes the main spelling of the function in prototypes. Hello. I'm sorry. My brain had become fry. What book are you reading? I'm on a website. It's about C-Lang. I'm a D-Lang programmer and I'm fighting against C-Lang right now. I'm fighting a heavy battle against the greatest HSA code of all time. The HSA runtime binding. Wait, did I just... Wait a second. Is this the HSA runtime? Did I just port it to D-Lang, basically? Hey, I mean, I guess I could port the HSA runtime to D-Lang. I mean, there's a lot, though, to HSA runtime. But, yeah, this is something about Substack.com. I don't know. Client T. Nice. Welcome. Client S gives a debugger stable print because the main spelling used in function prototypes. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Even though we have two of the same names. So on wait state S is just a stable name for debugger. That's why it exists. So even though they conflict, though, that's the problem. There's a wait state here. Unless I misspelled it in the other portion. HSA underscore wait underscore state underscore T. Typedef enum. So if you do your struct like this, wouldn't you then also be able to enumerate the T? So do they just enumerate that type? I don't even know what a typedef is, honestly. Typedef enumeration? Typedef and enum are separate concepts. They can be used independently of each other. So are you not understanding just typedef, just enum, both? Bro, I love Stack Exchange. It's amazing. It's like Reddit, but like actually terrible. Reddit's like slightly terrible. But you go into Stack Exchange and you just go, damn, bro. Who are these people? they just must hate I don't know. It just feels like so I don't know, aggressive, I guess. I don't know. It's definitely not too technical. Typedef and enum are two complete different things. The basic reason to have enums is to avoid magic numbers. Let's say you have 3 states: stop, caution, and go. How do you represent them in your program? 1, 2, and 3. That simple. One way is to use string literals, stop, but that uses a lot of memory. You know that's a lot of memory right there. So you could technically just, it's literally just a pretty label that you can create. Another way is to map them to integer values. 0, 1, 2, and this has a lot of benefits, but seeing stop in your code is a lot more meaningful than seeing 0. Yeah, it's fair. That's an enum. This is not what I'm looking for. Enum declaration. Typedef struct. Typedef enum. They're defining it. That, okay, here is what I think. Because you're trying to put a typedef, or trying to put a struct, and then you're trying to put an enum inside of a struct. What you're doing wrong is putting the enum in the struct. Enum goes outside the struct. Why would you put an enum in a struct? Interesting thing is that the code. Oh, I've never actually put an enum in a struct anyway though. This is interesting. I mean, I guess maybe if you needed like I guess it is technically a data type. Well, no, it's a pretty programmer type. That's what it is. That's what I call it. Let's see. What is C type def? Type def is a reserved keyword in C used to create an alias or synonym for an existing data type, rather than introducing a new type. It simplifies complex declarations and improves the code readability by allowing shorter or more meaningful names, like for types like structs, unions, and pointers in arrays. Nice. I like that overview, but that's not very helpful. Let's continue. C type def from W3 schools. Type def keyword lets you create a new name or alias for an existing type. This can make complex declarations easier to read. So I should alias everything. And this is just used for debugging, technically. I think that's what they do. So they have enums as T and then their structs are S, but then they change the name to T afterwards. And if you look in the code, we have HSA wait state T after type def enum. There's 3 occurrences. The first one, there's only 2 of them. And the 3 that these ones are using the one at the end. So why is HSA wait state also the name of a struct? Let's take HSA variable segment and see what comes after that. There's segments. C-lang is so interesting. I think we're going to learn a lot of C just by making bindings. I mean, go down. Keep going. No, I don't see any. I don't see a. Why is there not even a. This is kind of confusing. Ah. Oh, here we go. What's the one that comes after? ISA state. And that's the struct. Alright, so that's one fixed. Let's go see what else it was complaining about. That one was an easy one. It was just a weird thing that happened that I somehow managed to confuse something and end up with that. Function. Get extension table. Conflicts with. Alright, so we have a function. And let's just look up this name. That's a function name. I know that much. HSA extension table. Let's go to that. So, extension. Let's do get underscore extension. So the extension is like the device, isn't it? Because I read their spec kind of. Type def extension T. It only occurs 4 times and it's right here. In our binding, we have it occur twice. It's at 101 and 93. Let's go to 93. 101 and 93. Causing the most issues for me. 101 HSA agent feature. Those numbers aren't usually right though. This occurs here. System extension get info. It said 93. So that's the one we're looking for. Get extension table and get extension table at 95. There is 2 of these. So we just need to click on the one that has the right name and click on it twice so we can highlight them. So now I have to figure out which one is correct and which one is wrong. Pretty sure one of those. This is partly because I was like partially asleep when I wrote this shit. Extension. HSA extension T, right? I guess. How the fuck did the name end up as this? Extension type. Alright, then we just have to figure out the one on 70. Which it said was 73 in the other one. 73 and 67. Wowie. And 67 is probably the one. It's just a profile T. What did it say it was again? The names were profile T and HSA profile T enum. 67, 73. Must be farther down then. There's one there. Control F. And we'll just copy this and put it in. HSA profile T. Oh, right, we already fixed that. It was just, it had 2 declarations. It got declared twice. Somehow. Looks like we can SCP over. Alright, we've SCP'd it at this time. Cool. New features. Look at these amazing -v errors. What? Everything's an error. If you want it to be. Okay, here we go. Starting right here. Why is it needing semicolons? Oh my god, there's so much in here that I need to clear out my terminal. Which it won't do. Oh well. Go to the top of the page and it should have every single error. It looks like it's out. It's also concurrent. Unless that's all of my other oh my god. We're never debugging this. If you do dash release, it ignores errors, by the way. And then you could just compile it. 20 errors, so scroll up until I see my username and other thing. Error. Signal value t is used as a type. Declared here. Signal value t is used as a type. I'm pretty sure we can get away with making them all in 64. Or basically long. But if we want it C compatible, it needs to be in C, the C version. Well, that's pretty fun. I thought you could just enumerate those. I guess I'm wrong. We'll just define everything as being a U-long. Or a long. Well, that wouldn't make sense, but, I mean... So what is a HSA in it? HSA underscore int. What do you think about Fedora KDE? Oh, I tried it, but I don't know. It's Fedora. I don't know. I'm an Arch kind of guy. If you couldn't tell, I use Arch, by the way. I used Fedora KDE for a little bit, right before they updated to 44, and then I was like, yeah, time to switch to something cool, like Arch. Arch, by the way. Let's see. HSA status, but what is the type of status? Type def enum. Are you use CatchOS or normal Arch? I use CatchOS on a different machine. I actually like CatchOS, it's pretty cool. But on this one I just use regular Arch. HSA API. I wonder if this HSA API is something I need to go and check out. I reckon this, which contains macros, I think. CatchOS is Archbase? Yeah. I like Shelly. That's from CatchOS. ext table. Oh, I love massive enum. Are these API table? I don't know what this is, but it's a pointer. It's a pointer to that. But I don't know more than that. So there's a struct called the API table, and there's a struct called the ext table, which I guess are extensions, and these are APIs. So let's figure out what that is. See, Huang XT. This is hilarious. Why not use win? What do you mean use win? Also, I like that it's Huang XT, like Jensen Huang. What kind of website? Huang XT. I like my AMD Huang GPU, by the way. Huang XT. Goddamn. What a good website. Declared type C++. Okay. So that's a C++ thing. Or is it C? C++ keyword? What is a declared type then? Is it just undefined? Is it like one that you just kind of just mean, do you have Windows? No. No Windows. I just use Arch Linux. I main Arch. Arch based. I used to do Void too, but then I was like, yeah, no. We're gonna get out of the Void space. Because Arch is the only thing that works on my other computer. Which is what we're using as the GPU server. Which I'm now gonna rename to Huang XT because it's funny. Why? Arch just works. It's the only thing that works on my dying hard drive on the other system. So therefore, also I like that it's got the latest versions of like LDC and stuff. Because then I'll be like, damn, I've got the latest version. Things might not work if we update to SDL4. But hopefully somebody makes Windows same work? No. Windows breaks. Windows sucks. Windows is the reason my hard drive on that computer is fucked. It's because of the Windows CM. Bill Gates sapped it with poison before it left the factory. And that poison was called Windows. I'm a big Windows hater, honestly. But I fixed it by curing it by giving it Arch Linux, the cure for Windows. I like this struct called API table with declared types. But how is a declared type used? Also, can I get the Russian explanation, please? Can't pronounce that. It's too much brain power. And then there's the Polish explanation. Gives me a, but you can't play game. I don't even play games, bro. Only games I play anymore are Minecraft and Hexen, and Quake. And you'd be surprised what games you can play. You just can't play like the ones that are like super proprietary, like Fortnite. Proprietary, evil gaming right there, Fortnite. You could just VM Windows if you wanted that, but here we go, declared type Wikipedia. But what if I want the Russian example? Is a specifier keyword used to query a type? So you mean like a pointer? Oh, wait a second. Expression is like a function. So what if, wait, what? Query the type? So like this is an implicit. So like instead of writing a type, Bjarne Stroustrup proposed that a standardized version of the operator be added. You know who brought C++ into this world? Or who was essential in it? In 1998, Walter Bright wrote his C++ baloney and called it Better C. I don't know. That's something we read yesterday. Bjarne Stroustrup proposed a declared type DCL types semantics were used to cater to both generic library writers and novice programmers. In general, the deduce type mentions the type of okay. With the introduction of templates into the C++ programming language and the advent of generic programming techniques pioneered by the standard template library, the STL. Very interesting. That's a thing in C++ that really matters. The STL. Templates. Templates are really good though. Like templates, you cook with a template. You write a template, you're a master chef in any language. VLang, template, cooking. What does Russia have to say about declared type? I do wonder. Programminoff himself. Mr. Programminoff. Mr. Programminoff, tear down the C++. This is C++ right here. Or a hybrid of C and C++. AMD internal build. Things I like to see. AMD internal build. My preprocessor cooker off. Oh shit. Exhaustion. Fatigue. Let me see the files. Remove the ink. API trace. These are the libs. The libraries. They're all .sos, by the way. HSA kernel code. Oh my god. You know what would be great is if I just transpiled it all into VLang and then just used it, recompile it as a v.so. Then I know the interface. What if I just rewrote my own version of AMD? Look at this. It's all source code. Those are all includes. Does this mean we can... What's Ubuntu? It's like a release build? Compile it yourself C code right here. Honestly, HSA Foundation right here is cooking. API trace. See, the API trace doesn't say much about what it is. I want to switch to Linux. By the way, before I use Zorin OS. I've heard of Zorin. Is it good? You like Zorin? API table and ext table. And these are pointers to things? Where's the C++ hiding at? Is it only a half open source? This is a pointer to declared type, and then what am I guess we need the ext, but those are H. standard dot bool, standard dot int, and standard dot def. Size t, uint xx, and okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and just declare everything as uint64 or something like that. Yeah, I think they all could be defined as a uint64. We had them defined as int, though. Do any of these ever have negative numbers? I think they're all positive. Everything will be uint. Of the regular variety. And we'll see if it's compatible. Alright, so from top to bottom, everywhere we see something, we have to copy and paste a uint, but we're going to start at the very top. That way we just work our way down. Because I don't think any of these are structs either. These are all like operating things. Like they control things. Like almost a switch. And they'll read their licensing too. And then I'll see what if I can put my header on it. Or if I can add to their licensing, if it's open source enough. I think it isn't. I think it's kind of not open source enough for me to do that. Because then I could just release this, and then everybody can have my binding, but I don't know. Because I don't know. I mean, I've shown off how to make it, I guess. But it all depends, because it basically is just you take the code that they have and then adjust it slightly. Why on earth? Ah, that explains it. If it doesn't like this, we'll try long, or u long. Uint 64s are fine. Uint 16s are fine. My curiosity is if you can use the D-lane data types, which should be IEC compliant. Not sure if that's the correct terminology. I gotta be careful though, because some of these might be structs. Yo, gang. That's a crazy translation right there. It was like, damn, bro. Google AI needs to get out of my chat, by the way. I don't know why Google AI always translates everybody's stuff. I wish I could turn off auto-translate, but I don't know how to. My brain name hurt. Alright, if we see a weight type, that's a struct. So we gotta watch out for those. Although I'm pretty sure all these just return status. That's why they have that. They're a status. So they can return a status type. Comma. HSA status T. Function. Okay, now that's an alias right there. What is Arch about? It's about customization. Check out my custom desktop. We got Linus Torvalds and Tux the Penguin with the fucking Arch Linux mascot in the background. And then you'll see later I have 6 different desktops set up. Like this one. Damn, hella customization. We have NVIDIA Gate, Architecture Labs, Todd Arch. Oh, and this one, my personal favorite, Archis Torvalds C++. This is a horrible language. Anyway, I mostly do programming stuff. It's pretty cool. Alias. Caught another alias that we need to do. And callback. The wallpaper is frying me. Good. It was supposed to. It was an inside job. This is a function, and oh, actually, that's called an allocation callback. That's perfect. Alloc callback. So that allocates memory. That's what alloc means. That's also because this has to sync 2 different buffers. Since we're going to be targeting a GPU or a device like that, you have to sync both of the buffers when you do that. Uint. What the hell? How the... Oh my god. That's after that. Oh, okay. I thought that was in afterwards, but it's just because everything's tiny. If I zoom out, you'll see that they're very long. You know, it'd be great. You know, since C plus and C really like to name data types really weirdly, I wish they added very long for a 512-bit integer type. Please C++ committee add that. Thank you. I want to see very long in some C++ programmer's code and go. I'm glad I didn't choose C++. I chose D-Lang instead. And I have to write my own binding for HSA. But we want HSA. And the people said they want HSA. I like HSA. Pretty sure these are all fine to adjust. Like, that's not inside of anything. What's up? Hello. Oh, yes. We're almost done. Almost to the end of these. What am I building? Oh, I'm making a D language binding for HSA runtime. Oops. Which is this one. HSA.h. Really interesting, isn't it? HSA.h. How do I go back? Am I confused? Oh, have I been banned from HSA runtime? I want to look at the header file. The files, they're unredacted, by the way. These ones are, at least. Read only is an access type from their documents. I haven't done enough reading into it, but basically there's a few different access types or ways to access it. You have things declared globally within the HSA memory space. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I don't remember if they defined it as a VM, like Java virtual machine, or a runtime. I mean, technically similar, but different. And I'm not sure how either. I just know that the terminology kind of matters with that. And I forgot what I read yesterday for the most part. I just remember like a few things, like he got wavefronts, like hella stuff that I thought was hella confusing. Like that documentation is really good, but you read it for more than 10 minutes at a time, and then you go, damn, I need to take a 30-minute break from reading this stuff. Then you're like, but I need to read a lot more than I have today. So this should fix it, and then we'll just SCP it over. And then we'll just attempt to compile it with the cursed NVIDIA. You know, I thought he sold his leather jacket at one point, didn't he? But then he still has one in every video I see of him. Oh! How many errors did it? It didn't throw. Oh, 20? Used it as a type. Did I save it and then send it? Did I screw it up in that way? Variable HSA signal value T is used as a type. Oh. It's all the stuff in the parameters as well. This is going to take me a little while to fix. But basically, what is going on here is that every single place where I use the type, the enum, like they do in the C binding or whatever the hell they have, the front end that they wrote here, we have to change that as well. So even though I thought it would work, it's not the same. So these have, I think they're supposed to be specific values, but I'm not too sure, and I'm out of time for today. So I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I think by next episode I'll have this done. We fixed a lot of the problems that we had with this, and have gotten it out of the rough draft stages, so see you guys then.